So I've been seeing a pretty big shift in the general public's opinion on new technology. Not just old people, it's younger people as well. People younger than me, people my age, people of all ages are starting to shift their perspective on if newer technology is actually making our lives easier or it's making it more complicated and honestly more annoying. So back in the day, like the early 2000s and the 90s, and I would maybe even say like around 2010, when new technology was coming out, it was solving problems, it was making life easier, like computers coming out, cell phones, TV and entertainment products getting better, iPods, being able to have like thousands of songs in your pocket. It seemed like technology was solving tons of problems we had and was making our lives easier. And now with technology, it seems, and I would say I think it's around like 2015 or so, where that kind of plateaued, and now new technology is becoming more burdensome on our lives, and the things that used to make our lives great are becoming worse products. So I was at Epic Universe a few weeks ago, and we were eating at a couple of the restaurants, and obviously there's other people around us, and a new thing restaurants do now is they don't have menus, or honestly, they don't even have servers for the most part. They just have a QR code in the center of the table that you can scan and get your food delivered to you and all this stuff, and someone will bring in your drinks. You just do everything from the Universal app. Now, one of the problems with this was when we were sitting there eating, the app was not functioning properly, which was causing a ton of problems with people just simply being able to order food. And it was funny because there's like 100 staff members just standing there waiting to do stuff, but because the app isn't functioning properly, all of a sudden, no one can get their food. And then once it started working, people were already agitated, obviously. But I just heard people groaning and moaning and saying, I just wish someone would come up to the table so I can, I have a question about this entree, or I want to get a specific thing and I can't figure out how to do it in the app. And these are people of all ages, like I said. And for me, I wanted just a cup of water as well. But on the app, there was no place on the menu to just order a cup of water with your drink as well. And I saw a water dispenser right behind the counter, so I knew they had it. And I was sitting there just saying, why can I not just have a server? So that QR technology to try to say, we don't need servers anymore is making our lives more annoying. Then another thing we had was I was trying to use YouTube TV, which I tried to sign on in it, and it wasn't working. And I realized, YouTube TV is its own app. I can't just access it from YouTube. I don't know why, but it is what it is. I was like, all right, I downloaded the app. I go to log in, it gives me a QR code on the TV screen. I'm like, all right, I'll scan it with my phone. And then I went to sign in on the phone, and then it said I have to scan another QR code that is on my phone to double, the two-factor authenticate that it's actually me signing in. And I live by myself. I don't have another phone to scan the QR code, and the other option was glitching and not working. So I missed an entire NBA playoffs game because I could not simply log into YouTube TV. So these things that, originally started off as fantastic, like, trying to give alternate methods, trying to make things better, is in fact making our lives more complicated and far more stressful. And then the things that we thought were incredible, like the big thing I'm going to use is streaming services. We thought, oh man, when Netflix came out, everyone could not wait to cut the cord and get on Netflix. But that has slowly degraded into something terrible, because there is now what turned from Netflix and Hulu basically being the only thing, has now turned into a million different streaming sites, shows jumping between streaming services. No one knows where anything is. When I want to watch something, it's, not on Netflix anymore. It's on Peacock or Prime Video or something like that. And it's making people, honestly, miss for the days of cable, dare I say. I saw, I think a YouTuber named Sean. I'll put his video in the description. talking about how he misses cable TV. And even when I am using these streaming services, I've realized that I just miss simply just turning the TV on, something starts playing, and I just click through, and it's there. Not like having such an insane amount of choice honestly paralyzes me to pick what I'm trying to watch. Sometimes I just want to see something and say, oh, it's on, I'll see what it is. So even these applications and new ways of doing things, while it started off fantastic and made our lives incredible, are slowly turning into things that, we didn't sign up for, and things that are making our lives more complicated now and more just annoying when you're turning your TV. Now, the streaming services are probably more expensive than just getting cable at this point if you want to watch all these shows. And then the last thing is AI. Now, I think ChatGPT is incredible. I use it for searching and, finding information. But AI being forced into everything, like drive-thrus, that's an annoying experience in itself. I think I even talked about an experience I had with that in a prior video. But AI being shoved into everything to try to replace humans makes things so clunky and annoying. Because if I was just speaking to a human, the task I'm trying to do would get done in like 10 seconds. But instead, I have to sit there on the phone or sit there in person for like 10 minutes to just get a simple question answered. And I can tell that people are just overall annoyed by it. Because before, when new technology came out, unless you were really old, it was an exciting thing. Like, people were excited to see what the new thing is, how is this going to help our life. But now I'm seeing when a new technology comes out, people are more like, oh my goodness, how is this going to affect our life? In a bad way, not a good way. I think a recent one was the push to try to get VR and AR to be a huge thing. And the general public said, nah, I'm good with that. I don't want to wear goggles on my head to take me out of reality. And I think just technology as a whole has kind of plateaued. And every new way they try to, reinvent the wheel is making things far more complicated and just honestly ruining people's days.